What's up, guys? We're back in the garage today with another project. Essentially what I want to do is replicate this espresso tamper I've got, but I want to make a stainless steel base, and then I want to use this coco bolo for the handle, but as you can see, it's got a big chunk out of it where there's a knot or something. So I'm gonna have to fill that with some kind of resin, and I'm gonna try to do something cool there. So yeah, let's see what we could do about that. Off camera, I decided to mix up a little concoction. I got some epoxy resin. It's intended for surfboards, but I'm gonna try to make it work. I might have to do maybe 2 or 3 pours because this is not made for deep pour. It could heat up during the chemical reaction and kind of destroy the resin. I know from experience. So yeah, what I did is I just mixed up a tiny bit of resin and I just added a tiny bit of this pigment because it's an opaque pigment and I wanted it translucent. So I just put a tiny bit of that in there. And then I have this metal flake that's used for like custom paint jobs and whatnot. It's a medium flake. I can't remember the actual dimension of the flake. I think they tell you on the website. So you could head over there if you want. I think it's Custom Paints is the company. And anyway, I don't really want to waste this stuff, so I think I might try to pour it and maybe just fill that knot hole. So I don't know, let's try that and see what happens. Alright, so I got the little test pour done to fill the knot hole, and it came out pretty cool. That purple is pretty translucent. It's hard to see because this pour is so thick, but you can see the little flakes in there too, the metal flake. So the next thing I gotta do is make a dam. You probably saw that other piece of duct tape that went across the front here. So it's not so hard for the end and the side, but this weird little area right here, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I'll come up with a solution for that, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So I figured out a way to block off the resin to make a little dam for the end here, this weird part I was talking about. I just 3D printed basically a little square block with a hole through it. And on the inside it's got a chamfer, and I just filled that with beeswax. It's kind of like the only thing I had handy that, you know, wouldn't make a complete mess, or I didn't want to mess with epoxy putty or anything like that. So yeah, I got that pretty much sealed off, I hope. And I got some new duct tape dams set up. So I'm gonna go for another pour. And I think on this layer I want to do black. It'll kind of break up the purple a little bit. Plus if I put another layer of purple down here, I know it's not going to match exactly, so you'll see, you know, the difference between the two, which isn't a huge deal, but I don't know, I kind of like the idea of putting black in there. So let's try that out. The resin's been curing overnight, so now we can go ahead and take the dams off and see how it looks. It's not coming off as clean as I'd want it to, but that's alright because we're going to turn most of this down on the lathe. I kind of doubt that this plastic part's going to come off. And I don't know that it really needs to. I still have enough to grab on there with the chuck. So yeah, let's clean this up a little bit and I'll throw it on a lathe and see what it looks like. Alright, so I just got finished up with all the machining. I got all the components here. I decided to do like a brush finish on the base here. It's pretty much, what did I finish with? A 320, I think. So, pretty fine, but I'm not gonna polish it. It's just that much more work. So we got our stud here. I'm gonna thread that in. And the handle, it's hard to tell how cool it came out yet because I gotta put a top coat of epoxy on it. I'm not totally happy with this seam right here where I mentioned earlier about doing a layer of black. I think it'd look better if it was one color, but I think it'll still be pretty cool. The wood, the grain is like really cool. So let's assemble it and see what we look like. So there we go. There's the tamper assembled. Still have our epoxy top coat to do, but it's looking pretty good. Well guys, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.